Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. Welcome to Extra Crispy. For today's video, man, we got a video by AM Hoops titled The Most Underrated NBA Player from Every Team. So these are always really interesting types of videos to see, just because when it comes down to like underrated, we all kind of view that in a different way. Like somebody you might look at and be like, hey, like that's a good player. Somebody else might be like, yeah, that's just like a basic person, right? But when it comes down to it, man, like every team has those gems out there that just not everybody pays respect to because they don't watch every single game of that person, right? Where you talk to the fan base, you're like, yo, that's a good-ass player, right? So, yeah, let's go and get going on this, see what it's all about, see what he says about my Detroit Pistons. I'm going to predict... Man, who's going to say underrated on Detroit? The whole team, probably, man. The whole team's underrated, if we're being honest.
There is nothing wrong with being a casual NBA fan.
Yo, I like his setup, man. I like how he has like the footage going back there. It's really cool.
Congratulations. For the rest of us with no life, really, it's frustrating when players deserve credit, but they don't get it.
100%.
So here is the underrated guy from every single team this coming season.
Killian Hayes, based off what he did at the end of last season, man. Nobody cares, but they should.
Hawks, Clint Capela. Some people say he is rated right where he should be, but I think his impact turned Atlanta into a top 5.
What I like about Clint Capela is he basically like put out the basis point for what that type of center should get paid if you're good at being that type of center, if that makes sense. Like, yeah, Clint Capela, I love this contract. I don't know what his contract currently is, if he's still on the same one, but he got one with the Houston Rockets a few years ago, which was really good. I don't know if he got like an extension though, but yeah.
5 seed. Dude averaged about 15 points and a league
perfect center for the Hawks.
Boards in the regular season. He only trailed Rudy Gobert in defensive plus minus. Boston Celtics,
did not know that.
Dennis Schroeder. Everybody, especially Magic
former
Johnson,
six-man,
loves to clown on Schroeder for his playoff failure, but the C's are getting a motivated, talented guard who will fill a big role.
On a contract year.
Could be the best signing this offseason. The Brooklyn Nets, Patty Mills, another great signing. This one for a team with a questionable locker room and point guard situation. Patty Mills has been an elite backup.
Bro, I didn't know Patty Mills was ever bald. Not that that mattered. I just saw him down there with his bald head. I was like, wow, this is photoshopped or something. But no, yeah, Patty Mills, that was a guy. I didn't really not even think about him being on the Nets. Like, he is on the team, but I have not like thought about it really. It's not like connected in my brain. It's like, yeah, that was actually really an underrated signing. I like it.
For years, but he can handle a bigger role like he's shown when he plays with Australia at the Olympics. Dude's
he becomes Kobe in the Olympics.
Get a leader and a baller.
Mellow.
Charlotte Hornets, Mason Plumlee. Definition of underrated. I forgot this dude was on this team. The Hornets need somebody to get rid
I forgot he was on my team. I liked Mason Plumlee in Detroit. I know I roasted it when he first got there. But he was a fine center, and I have a feeling the Pistons are going to miss his defense at times with Kelly Olynyk, being the new center. Well, we got beef to do still, but yeah.
His board percentage was 19.3, sixth best in the NBA. Not a fun player, but consistent. Chicago
yeah,
Bulls,
he's fine.
Patrick Williams. I hear so much about Lonzo Ball, DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine. No one mentions P. Will. I think the issue is that
killing in the summer league
down offensively toward the end of his rookie year, except for the 24 points against the Nets. Good news, he was much more aggressive like he needs to be in the summer league, and he's still the best defender they've got.
He's got some crazy-ass athleticism.
Darius Garland. Basically, everybody on that roster is overlooked, but I hear a lot about Colin Sexton.
Yeah, that's who I was going to say, Colin Sexton. Got me that, but he just nailed it right there, saying that, like, yeah, like, the entire team is overlooked. Like, there's so many good players on the Cavs that you can see it's going to come together in time. Yeah, take your pick as far as Cavs players go.
Garland is actually the best guard on this team. He improved offensively across the board last year, but more importantly, his playmaking is awesome. Almost 3 more assists per game in his rookie year. Mavericks, Dorian Finney-Smith, the
good
best
pick.
3-and-D player nobody talks about. The Mavs can count on him to provide 3-pointers, boards, blocks, and steals every night, especially in the playoffs. Denver Nuggets, Monty Morris. Nuggets
good backup point guard.
Crucial Morris is, but casual fans have barely heard of him. He makes the second unit work, and when Jamal Murray's out,
efficient.
He's a fantastic fill-in starter. Dude only gets better in the playoffs, and I think he's Denver's 4th best guy, behind Jokic, Murray, and MPJ. The Pistons, Kelly Olynyk.
Hey, Kelly.
In Houston. If the Pistons want to give Olynyk minutes, that same opportunity is there in Detroit. For the Warriors, it's...
Yeah, I was just reading. I think the Pistons are starting beef stew, so I don't know how many minutes Olynyk's actually going to get. But yeah, I mean, if he put up that 19.6 he got with, I think it was 19.6. How do I know that off the top of my head? I don't know. Like 6 rebounds per game or something, but Be interesting.
Wiggins. Dub fans know his worth, but most people didn't really pay attention. Career best efficiency from the field and from three. Contested the most shots of any wing in the NBA. He is one of Golden State's most reliable players, which is a long way from his Timberwolves days. For the Rockets, it's Eric Gordon. This guy should be in trade rumors for every contender, but he's not for some reason. He is a knockdown shooter despite a...
There's quite a few teams I think I wish would go for Eric Gordon. I think it's the injury, proneness that he still has. And I think he's getting paid like $18 million, which is probably hard to match, but it can be done.
Season.
Some team will bite on him.
Decent defender, too. The Rockets need to find a home for Gordon like they will with John Wall, but really the only block to this is his injury history.
Yep.
For the Pacers, it's O'Shea Brissett. He broke out toward the end of last
season.
Heard
good things about this guy.
13.7 boards and assists.
Not watched him too much.
And almost 2 3-pointers over the last 15 games. I expect a coaching change to Rick Carlisle will help Brissett even more. For the Clippers, it's Justice Winslow. If he breaks out again, it'll come out of nowhere because no one is talking about this pickup. At his best, Winslow can contribute as a point guard, which they need, and defend, but of course he needs to stay healthy. For the Lakers, Malik Monk. Look, the Lakers show ain't gonna win games because of Malik Monk, but he will create for himself off the bench or be a...
He'll drop like 130-point game.
Next to
be
LeBron
crazy.
And Russell Westbrook. Memphis Grizzlies, Desmond Bane.
Bro, I wanted Desmond Bane so bad in the draft, but we didn't end up getting him. I think we ended up getting Sadiq, so it was all good. But, man, Desmond Bane, I like him a lot. Like, he just looks like an NBA player to me.
It is so crazy more people don't mention Desmond Bane after his amazing rookie season. Dude stayed consistent
6'6", can shoot.
As an efficient scorer who hits threes and racks up assists and steals. For the Heat, it is Tyler Hero. Yes, he got so overrated, now it's flipped the other way around. People wrote off Hero after he started last year kind of disappointing, but really, he improved in every single stat except for three-point percentage. For the Bucks, Dante DiVincenzo. A lot
solid
of people
role player.
Forgot about him because he was injured during their playoff run.
By Tyler Hero.
He's a really good 3-and-D guy. Plus, he's got like the best nicknames in the NBA. The Big Ragu, the Michael Jordan of Delaware. Timberwolves, Jaden McDaniels. Minnesota's best
solid choice of Jaden.
Least talked about rotation.
Jaden's nice, and also I like Naz Reid a lot. I think that's Naz Reid right there.
Player. I get why people don't mention him because what he does isn't flashy, but if Minnesota wants to start winning games, McDaniels will be a big reason why. For the Pelicans, it is Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Get ready for a breakout season from him after
most improved player, maybe.
For Chicago.
Could be most improved.
Finally has the opportunity to show the league what he's shown in flashes. He is super talented, especially on the offensive end. For the Knicks, it's Nerlens Noel. He got paid because basically Mitchell Robinson went down and it didn't matter. Few players benefited from a coaching change like Nerlens. A star of Tibbs' defense.
Yeah, I'm curious what's going to happen with Mitchell Robinson because like I think Nerlens Noel, I'm like, man, this dude's like 40, but he's like still like in his 20s, so... Yeah, I'm curious what happens when it's all said and done there.
The block steals and double-doubles. Oklahoma City Thunder, Darius Bazley. If he was on a better team, Baze might be my pick for most improved player next year.
Wow.
He averaged about 14 points and 7 boards last season.
That's funny because my most improved for the OKC Thunder I got is Pokuševski. Dang, it looked like they got some under-the-radar players over there in OKC. Y'all doing just fine, man. All them draft picks, too.
He needs to improve his efficiency and his defense, but he's got the tools. For the Magic, it's Wendell Carter Jr. If people named Magic players, they would start with, like, Markelle Fultz and then Jalen Suggs. It'd be a while before they got to
Jonathan Isaac.
Jr. He is a good inside scorer. He's got decent range with good interior defense. You could argue he is their best player. For the Sixers, it's Andre Drummond. People crap on Drummond because he's an old school type center, basically. But they give a pass to guys like Jared Allen. Drummond is still in his prime, though, and he's led the league in boards 4 times in his career. He's also a two-way player at the rim. Look, his fit in Philly is questionable, but his talent and his contract is not. Phoenix Suns...
Yeah, it comes down to his contract. I mean... If you pay Drummond like a number 1 option, your team's not in a good place. But getting him as a backup, I feel like getting him as a backup center, Joel Embiid, was a little drastic by the NBA. I feel like there could have been a team out there that could have gave him a fine, $10 million a season type of thing, like the Charlotte Hornets or a team like that, and that would have been a little better for him. But I don't know. The whole Drummond Philly situation still feels awkward. I keep on seeing videos. Like there was a video of him trying to give Joel Embiid a high five, and Joel just kind of. He just ignored him. He's like, why is this fourth stringer trying to dab me up, man?
Kel Bridges. Actually not super underrated, but Phoenix was really hard to...
People say that, dab me up? Huh. That's people say that, right? I said that and I was like, is that what people say? Dab me up. That's a dab up, right? I don't know.
Choose from, honestly. Basically, all of their rotation players, everyone knows about them now after their playoff run. Bridges was a beast during that run, guarding the other team's best player, and he had the second highest plus-minus on the team, only to...
I love how he plays.
The Blazers, it's used to...
He's just Arizona Tayshaun Prince.
Nurk, Portland has 0 rim defense. He's got the biggest chance to break out in 2022 as the team's most talked about guy behind Damian Lillard. If Nurk can stay healthy, he'll be one of the biggest names in 2022 free agency.
Yeah, he was great before the injury.
Terence Davis. The Raptors basically gave him away for nothing, but he made the all-rookie team 2 years ago. Last season in Sacramento, he hit 37% from deep, the second highest.
Yeah, who's the other dude that made the, there's another guy that made, man, there's been a few cases of that, just like guys that made like all rookie and just like fall off. Like, I think Willie Hernan-Gomez made it for the Knicks quite a few seasons ago. I think he actually plays now a little bit for the Pelicans, I believe. There was him. Man, who else am I not thinking of? I think Brandon Clark, but he might have had some injury stuff going on with the Grizzlies. There's like guys like that where it's like, you know, you always wonder what happened.
Only to Buddy Hield on that team. If the Kings take a leap, Davis will be known by casual fans. For the Spurs, it is Keldon Johnson.
Oh yeah,
similar to the
breakout player right here.
On this team is just glossed over. But if there's one Spur who I think could make that star leap, it's Keldon. He's amazing.
Playing the Olympics,
straight to the rim. Dude needs to add free throws and passing to his game, but I think with DeMar DeRozan gone, he'll get more work there. For the Raptors, it's Khem Birch. Did the Raptors find their reliable starting center? If they did, Birch won't be underrated for long. About 12 points, 8 boards, and a block in 17 games with
not bad.
Utah Jazz, Eric Pascal. He was talked about a lot because he came out of nowhere his rookie season, but not
AKA Draymond's offense.
Now in Utah, he's got a consistent role.
Always said if Eric Pascal and Draymond, if you combine them, you have the perfect NBA player because Eric can score. And Draymond can do everything else.
Bench. I expect him to score, rebound, and defend very well. Washington Wizards, Thomas Bryant. He missed time with injury, a lot of time, but he can be unguardable when he's healthy. The Lakers look like idiots for trading him so soon. And last year, Bryant...
Yeah, he is a beast offensively. Defensively, he's like one of the worst centers in the NBA in that regard. But like, if you want like a guy to be like some instant offense off your bench or something like that, like I probably would not start Thomas Bryant because of the defensive woes. But like, you trying to get some energy or something like that, then yeah, he could be that guy.
Bryant was on pace for career highs across the board. He is an underrated key to the Wizards' future. And I know some of you are going to really disagree about what I said about Tyler Hero, but believe me, as this video shows, the Tyler Hero hate just...
Hey, I like the take on it. NBA fans are very quick to switch their mind up. So it's like when a guy's overrated, you call him up for that. When he's underrated, you gotta flip sides. So yeah, again, this was a really good video. Really interesting. I think he definitely nailed it with as far as like naming guys that are underrated that people don't talk about enough. So really cool. Check out his channel, man. I'll link to the description below. Thank you all so much for watching, and peace out, my friends.